Healing that's found on page 168. That's rapid healing, but it took more than a half an hour to touch up all my body parts from the fall, and I didn't get quick enough to this thumb, so it's swelling, pain is developing. I went home, I started consuming enzymes, about 2 capsules every hour. By the time evening, the swelling is gone. My thumb is able to once again go back to normal functioning. That is what it does for you, enzymology, especially when you apply and get engaged immediately, whether it's a cold or a cardiovascular issue. You got some pressures on the heart because you've been doing too much Starbucks and bacon and eggs and all that kind of stuff. You know, it just don't work. It plugs you up. And when it's plugging up, Max Wolf, one of the great cardiologists and a personal friend, he was going to write an endorsement to my book Survival, but he says, I'd be laughed out of the industry, he says, with all these funny cartoons you got in your book. So he refused to do it. But Max Wolf was the pioneer, just like in the animal-based pancreatic enzymes. He created that whole industry, which became Mucopharm in Germany. And his research shows 95% of all forms of cardiovascular diseases return to normalcy by enzymatic saturation. Hey, it's just like that environmentally safe Drano that you can go out at Walmart and purchase it and pour it down your sink. And it's made out of enzymes, ooh, and it's made of probiotics, ooh, and it does wonders to that plumbing of your sink. Wow, hell, drink that stuff and see what it'll do for you. I'm not recommending. I've never done it, and I don't recommend anything. I've never done it, but I certainly have used Simplexity for correcting plumbing issues. And you've got about 60,000 miles of plumbing in your body called cardiovascular system. And it does get congested. And we did a little research study. We took individuals who are in traditional SAD diet, and what we did was, we let them keep on eating. You know, people are not going to change their lifestyles. But he says, look, just take these pills. He says, take 5 with your meals and 5 between meals. And we did the life cell analysis before that. We saw what a sludge, you know, really thick, viscous, filled with sticky red blood cells, microorganisms, parasitic components. Okay, they came back 5 days later. That's only 5 days later. And after doing that, and they got all those enzymes for free, so they were willing to do it, and they started feeling better that same day. And they come back, we do another life cell analysis. They got the bloodstream of a young person. Woo! Ain't that cool? Fantastic. I mean, what you can do for yourself. Viagra, look out, enzymes might displace it. I mean, Viagra is just for plumbing also. Do you realize the most popular selling recreational drug right now on the streets among teenagers is Viagra? They can't get it up. Why? Because they're on an acid diet with the plumbing, because they're totally enzymeless nutrition. But you get them on enzymes, you get them on blue-green algae, you get them on probiotics. Magic starts happening, like a very good, well-known athlete. He had ambitions to compete in the Olympics, of all things, in decathlon, which is considered the hardest, the most difficult competitive event. You think triathlon is try decathlon. Well, he was doing well on the international front, so he was training, and he could best muster up 2 hours of work. And 2 hours, you ain't gonna get anywhere close to the Olympics. Somebody says, hey, because it was in the community of Klamath Falls, so they give him a whole bunch of pills. He says, for free, take them. It'll make a difference. Well, he started feeling a difference right away, and within a matter of a month or so, he's now working out right into the evening. He goes to Atlanta Olympics, which was not altogether that long time ago. He competes at men 10 years younger than him. Guess what? He breaks all world records. He comes home with a gold. That's how big of an influence. Realkalize, re-enzymize, reoxygenate. Do you know what that high chlorophyll content that Catherine was mentioning is 5 times higher than wheatgrass in a dry form? Do you realize what it does? I quote all the research. All forms of anemia not only is reversed, and including pernicious anemia, but also it leads to having your red blood cell count about 30 to 50% higher than considered normal. Normal is sick normal. SAD individuals are the ones that they use at foundation for creating the normal reference point. That has nothing to do with health. Okay? So, by overcoming anemia, you increase your red blood cell count and hemoglobin, and that leads to a radical increase in oxygen delivery. Guess what? Not a single metabolic reaction ever happens without oxygen inside of your body. Your physical fitness and robustness, your intellectual capacity, all function in an optimal way by having a high oxygen carrying capacity. And especially if you keep pouring that Drano down your pipe, which is enzymes, and that will also clear out all the phlegm and sludge along the blood vessels, and all of a sudden you're transporting tons of oxygen, and the consequence of that is better athletic performance, better brain power. Talk about brain power. You can go out, look up Dr. Jeffrey Bruno on the internet, or you can go to Catherine, to the website, Viktoras, number 4, the letter U.com, Viktoras for you, and you'll see the research data that is associated with intellectual development. Dozens of papers have been published, especially the study with 2,000 children, and our children are being turned into idiots. Now they've gone from 25